Okay, welcome everybody once again. I'm Jay, and today we are going to talk about market structure. For those of us who don't know, market structure is just a way of like reading the charts. All right. Now, when it comes to market structure, as you can see here from the diagram that I drew here, we do have the blue one, which seems to be going up according to the arrow at the end. We have the one that is going down, and we have the one that's just going up and down, like sideways, right? Now, let's break it down. When we are talking about the forex markets, okay, or any market as long as there's charts in it, okay, I hope so. We have something that's called a swing high and the swing low. Same thing over here is a swing low, and this here is a swing high. All right. Now, these are called swing points, okay? And when it comes to types of trends, okay, the market does have type of trends: an uptrend, a downtrend, and a sideways trend, or so-called the range or consolidation. All right. Now, when it comes to market structure, okay, we say that the market is bullish, which is this one over here in blue, okay, when we see higher prices, okay. So when we talk about higher prices now, you're expecting to see what? Higher highs and higher lows, isn't it? Higher swing points basically. So that's why the first prefix here is always H, or high, okay, or higher rather. So this is a higher low, this is a higher high, this one is a higher low, okay. If you notice, it is above this low here, and this one is a higher high because it's above this one. So just like that, it's the same ideology that we use over here when it comes to downtrend. In a downtrend, we hope to see lower prices, okay, meaning that the first prefix here is going to be lower. So this here is the lower swing high and the lower swing low, right? A lower high and a lower low, and it keeps going on, okay. So those are the swing points that we have there. Then we do have the black sheep of the house, okay. We don't specifically have higher highs or higher lows per se. It's more like a sideways kind of range, okay. So in that notice, we have equal lows and equal highs, okay. So this here is equal highs, and then we have equal lows around here. So that's the difference between the three types of trends that we have here, okay. Now I want to show us something here, okay. So we have three types of trends. Now there's something that I want to mention in there, okay. Every single move counts, because when you go into lower time frames, let's just say that this here is a higher time frame, right? And then we let's say this one here is in the daily time frame, and then this one that we're seeing here is in the 1 hour time frame, right? Now when you zoom into that, this moves that we're seeing here, this up down up, right, which we have it here, you're going to see that in the lower time frame, the 1 hour time frame, that we have this, okay. This is simply because price is fractal. We can divide it into smaller sections, okay. And by the time we divide it, you see that this, from this low to this high, or from this low to this high that we have here, we also have more higher highs and higher lows, okay. Now depending on where your top-down analysis starts from, you might have some inner structure inside it, okay. So let's just say that this is the outer structure, okay, that we're seeing here. This one here is the outer structure, and this here is the inner structure inside that particular time frame they're looking for, okay. We should actually take some into the charts, okay, so that we will have some better examples over there, right? So over here we have Euro AUD on the 1 hour time frame, okay. Now everything looks better on the books, which is exactly why we need to actually look at the charts, have real life examples, okay. Now I'm about to show you guys a little bit of market structure, okay. Over here we have a swing low, and then we have a swing high, a swing low, a swing high, a swing low, another swing high over here, okay. Then we begin to go down, isn't it? So we have a high, a low over here, and then another high, and then another low, okay. So we're going in an uptrend here, then we started going into a downtrend. Now basically an uptrend again, isn't it? Now it seems like we're going into a downtrend, but then this is where it gets a little bit tricky, okay. what I'm counting right now is basically the inner structure, all right, because let's map it out. You can use the part 2 for that. If you just focus on the major highs and the major lows that we are seeing here, we are left with this. This here is a high, low, high, a low over here. We almost got down here, but then this was supposed to be okay, we didn't really make any new highs from there. We just made new lows, but then we started coming back up from here. Okay, this is the outer structure that we can see from there. Okay, so anything in between is basically the inner structure that we can see there. Okay, then in the inner structure you have more highs and lows over there, but then this one now we have it as the major lows, okay, and the major highs. Then we now have the ones that are inside it. Okay, these highs and lows that I just counted out, they might appear clearer on a higher time frame, such as the 4-hour time frame. Okay, if you look at there now, most of the inner structure that we just talked about right now just vanished. Okay, and then we're now left with this. This is still the same drawing that I had before, all right, but now I feel like it's a little bit clearer though. So basically this is how you map it out basically. Okay, then although Euro 80 has been ranging for a while, so let us look into something else. Let's look into JPB, JPY. I feel like we should have a nice trend there. Okay, we need to look into different types of trends, downtrend, uptrend, and range. So hopefully we are going to see some of them over here. Okay, so now let's see what we are working with. Okay, so far so good. If you guys observed it, this here is an uptrend. How do I know there's an uptrend? Price started around here, right, back in May, and then now in November we are up here, so that's definitely an uptrend. Okay, and aside that, we're making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, look at it here: high, a low, a high, a low, a high, low, high, low, and it just keeps going up. Okay, although it kind of like ranged here for a little bit, but then we started coming back up again. So there it goes. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't look as pretty on the chart as it looks on the books, or when people are drawing for you what it should look like. Okay, this is just so you know, but then there are many ways into identifying which kind of trend you are. You can use trend lines, you can use market structure, which is like what we're using now, and some other ways. Let me not just go into that, otherwise I'll start mentioning a bunch of things. But yeah, this is basically what we see in an uptrend. Okay, and then this here is what I would consider as a range. As you can see, price is not really making any new highs or making any new lows, per se. So we have this here, it's just going up and down, up and down, up and down, without making any major move, all right, for a while. So this here is a sideways range. Okay, is a sideways trend. So basically price at this point has just been ranging non-stop. Okay, before it now came back up again and then made it moves now and started trying to go up from there. Okay, now let's see if you can find, I think this could be a good example for a downtrend here. Okay, although it's not really a downtrend, this is just like what, a correction mostly. Okay, I'm going to get into that in a bit. Okay, stay with me. Now let's go to JPB CHF. Let me clear that out. I know this one has been going on a downtrend, so I said okay, let me just use this one. So yeah, we have here a high, right, and then we have a bunch of lows. It kind of like range for a little bit, but personally the way I'm seeing it here is we go all the way down to this low, then this high again, low, high, low, high, low, high, and we keep on mapping them out, and then until we go down there. Okay, so basically this is an example of a downtrend. Okay, as you can see, price is making new lows. Okay, new low, another new low over here, and probably we might even make another one, or we might be shifting to an uptrend. Okay, so which is now the next part of what we are supposed to talk about right now. Now let me shift this up. Okay, when it comes to trends, we do shift from bearish to bullish and bullish to bearish. Okay, on uptrend is bullish trend, and a bearish trend is a downtrend. Okay, so now let's say we are in a bullish trend, right? We're going up non-stop. Okay, let me change the color to look better. Now this here is an uptrend, and then if price wants to actually change its structure, okay, you can call it a break of structure or a market structure shift, okay, because market is shifting from bullish to bearish. We will have something like this. Price is going to come down here and cross one of the major lows that we have, okay, then come back up again and then start his path to the downside. Okay, so where the things go wrong, or where the things change rather, just here, this is where everything changed. Okay, so this to me was where market changed structure. All right, at this point here, when we made a new low, market was already trying to say, okay, see, I might start to go, I may want to go down from here, but you cannot confirm it until the next low is formed. Okay, so because price could still instead of stopping here, it could continue going up. Okay, could continue going up from there. That's also a possibility. So how do you identify a real change in structure? You're going to wait until the next break. Okay, that is the safest way of waiting for it, although there's some other ways to know about that, but like we may get into that into other videos. But now we're just dealing with the basics. Okay, so this here is the market structure shifts, and this here is our new break of structure, which made markets to go down, right? Which made price to just go down here, create a new low. Okay, so into every new low we see that there's a break of structure there. So we created a new low, right? A break of structure happened. Okay, we are breaking structure every single time you break a low or a high, or possibly a structure as well. When I say structure, I mean patterns. Okay, so this here is a break of structure, that is also a break of structure, and if you have been following me on my live analysis and the rest, I normally use this BOS, break of structure. Okay, it's going to show there on my charts as a B. Okay, so this is basically what I use. I don't really like putting in too many words, too many letters into my chart, so I try to make it simple. So all these now, they're all breaks of what? Breaks of structure. Okay, so yeah, this is basically how I see my charts, or how I read my charts. Okay, now let me do some quick analysis here. Okay, let's go. Should I go to the daily time frame or not? I like the daily time frame because it's usually cleaner, but then I remember that this pair itself is not too clean. I'm not sure if going to the daily is going to solve my problems, but well, I think we can try. Now let's check it out here. Okay, I've not actually looked into this pair before, so it's not as if I'm not prepared. I am prepared. I know what I'm supposed to tell you guys. It's just that I did not prepare to analyze this particular pair. Okay, now let's look into this. Over here, what do we have? Okay, this here is a high, we have a low here, another high, another low, high, then we low-key tried to break the structure, but we didn't. Okay, yes, this is actually something that I am supposed to note. Whenever you're looking for break of structure, the best way to see one is to actually see the body of the candle closing above it. Otherwise it might be known as a sweep. Okay, which is something that I'm going to cover in another video. Now look at this. This here is a break of structure to me. Okay, this is a break of structure. All right, this is not a break of structure. This here is a sweep. All right, now this is a break of structure. As you can see, there's a body close below it, right? And what is this? This here is a change in market structure. Okay, we are shifting from bullish to bearish at this point. So this is also a break of structure. We have another one here making a new low. All right, so we're marking a new low over there. Okay, another one happened around here. Okay, so all these ones now, they're basically break of structures. All right, so it's just basically saying this here is a low, this is a low, and they got violated. Okay, because price made a lower low. So that is what it means there. Now eventually price is going to get tired and is going to wear out again. So this here is also a break of structure. All right, and then we have what? We don't have a break of structure. What we do have here is a sweep. Okay, and then usually when you see a sweep is when market wants to try, keyword is try, because sometimes it fails, and change the structure. Like now you're seeing here, this here is a break of structure, the upside. So basically we are now turning from bearish to bullish again, right? Here we were bullish, we became bearish, now we're becoming bullish again. Okay, so now price came back up, okay, and then started to go down again, probably because it found some support or some resistance there. So I'm going to explain some of this in our second video in advanced market structure, right, where we can see how to identify possible pullbacks. Okay, so before I go, one more thing that I should mention is that whenever we have market structure, okay, we do have this. Whenever price is going up like this, okay, we have what we call impulses and corrections. So some people might call it a pullback or retracement. Okay, so this here is a correction. Let me see if I can get a marker or something. Where is this here? Okay, I think I can use a brush. Yeah, I can. So this here is a impulse, this is a correction, impulse, a pullback, impulse, and probably a retracement. Okay, pullback, correction, retracement, there are many names for it. People use many names. So but majorly we say that a move that's in favor of the trend is an impulse move. Okay, and the one that's not favoring the trend, that is opposing the trend, is a correction, a pullback, a retracement. Okay, so that is it for market structure. This is the basic. Okay, we're going to have another video where I'm going to cover some more things in it. All right, a better way of like analyzing market structure. So this is basically how you read price whenever you're looking at your charts. Okay, and I hope this video helps. Please don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. Okay, and I'll be seeing you guys again in my next video.